Shikamaru versus Gecko Moria. Shikamaru, is that shinobi from Naruto who has intelligence, and he uses the shadow paralysis, shadow possession jutsu that is related to his clan's lineage factor, right? And then Gecko Moria is one of the 7 warlords, or was one of the 7 warlords, who uses shadows. He takes shadows from other people and then makes himself stronger, can put shadows inside of corpses and make them, run around. And so I got this fight for y'all too. Shikamaru, or the first scenario is in the Naruto world. So strength goes to Gecko Moria. He's just a big guy who's like, he can, throw some shit around. He can, he's physically strong, compared to Shikamaru, who's not. But we ain't sleeping on Shikamaru now, don't let that, get people bent, because Shikamaru is faster than Gecko Moria. He's kind of just a guy who sits down in a seat, hard hits or whatever, right? But, if he can't hit his target, it's useless. Durability, Gecko Moria. Endurance goes to Shikamaru. Because this is not Gecko Moria in his heyday. And even if it was Gecko Moria in his heyday, he still wasn't scrapping with people that long. Shikamaru was able to take down an Akatsuki member by himself. Gecko Moria has no real win feats that are notable. Endurance goes to Shikamaru, and then intelligence definitely goes to Shikamaru. And this is my thing with Gecko Moria. If you were trying to, take over the world or whatever, don't you want to make sure you yourself are, in shape and other things? Make sure you're fast, durable, and, have endurance to last in a fight. You're smart enough to tell your zombies to do this and do that. You put the right shadows within different corpses so that these corpses ain't gonna be retarded or stupid when you tell them to go attack people. He ain't doing shit like that, experience goes to Gecko Moria still, just because of the age and other things, and he has had his dough for a while. Unfortunately, though, like I said, this character called Gecko Moria is not the best of his dough fruit. Close skills go to Gecko Moria. Range skills go to Shikamaru. He can manipulate this nigga's shadows and shit. Now, it's in the Naruto world, right? So he has trees and other things that he can, manipulate. Gecko Moria is not thinking about inanimate objects' shadows. Gecko Moria is only concerned about taking shadows from Shikamaru and any shinobis that might be around him, so he can, use that to fuel his strength. He ain't worried about all that. That's how, this is going to end up working, right? In Shikamaru's favor. Recoup goes to Shikamaru as well. He bounces back from, battles, not quickly, but he's back and at him for the next, fight. Gecko Moria kind of, stays whatever, and then he comes back every once in a while. And I don't like this character, Gecko Moria. Hacks go to Shikamaru. He has the shadow paralysis jutsu. He has the shadow strangling jutsu. He can if Gecko Moria did have shadows, he could use the shadows and twist him and strangle him to death. And he's all shadows, right? And all Shikamaru has to do is pull on that shit. Squeeze him to death. Have him pull his fucking, because Gecko Moria has those little scissors, pull those scissors out and chop his own head off. Now, Gecko Moria does have the environment to his advantage too, as far as there's less water in Narutoverse. I always bring that up in these videos. There's less water in the Naruto world, so a One Piece character going into the Naruto world doesn't, if they're Delphi user, don't have to worry about the water as much, you know. But even so, Shikamaru wins that shit 6-5, based off these, attributes, right? But that's still gonna be a mid-diff fight for Shikamaru. And in the One Piece world, we'll go over that. Strength goes to Gecko Moria. Speed goes to Shikamaru. Durability goes to Gecko Moria. Endurance goes to Shikamaru. Intelligence goes to Shikamaru as well. Gecko Moria has the experience, especially in the Naruto world, to try to, evade this guy or grab his shadow, to use it for his needs. But Shikamaru, like I said, has the intelligence. He can already see this guy pulling shadows out of other people. And he has that, like, oh, I have a shadow too. I can't let this guy. And then that's where I go to, close skills. Close skills, close skills, I give it to Shikamaru. And then range skills, I give it to Shikamaru as well. Recoup, I got it for Shikamaru. Hacks go to Shikamaru. And then environment goes to Shikamaru, because in this world, he could even have him, he don't have to have him like pull out his, scissors and cut his own head off, right? He can make him walk towards the water and hop into the water, and that will end Gecko Moria. Like, he has no ways of, like, because there's some Delphi users who could, like, maybe, get out of that situation. He's not one of those type of Delphi users who has a chance at all of getting out of that situation. Shikamaru walks him over to the water and jumps him into the water. He's done. Shikamaru climbs out of the water and wins. I give that shit a mid-diff fight too. So basically, in both scenarios, Shikamaru is going to beat Gecko Moria. He just has a better chance in the woods of Naruto, because there's more land and shit, less water to, deactivate his Dofu. But still, Shikamaru wins both times, both scenarios. Be cool, call in the corner, and let me know what you think.